Hey guys, so this week I'm doing a comic on the language of diabetics, and I thought it'd be quite fun to do a video on some of them. So basically it's trying to explain the language that we use that is quite different to, I guess, the rest of the world. So we have very specific language that we use in the diabetes community, and I thought I wanted to just highlight a few of those in my comic and in this video. So in this video, I'm only going to show you some of my favorites, and if you want to read more about the different terms or emojis or like different language that we use, check out my comic. I thought we'd start with an easy one just to get us warmed up. So this is going to be super simple for all of us that are diabetic out there, but I have been asked the question before, what does T1D mean? And that obviously means type 1 diabetes, or if you're talking about a type 1 diabetic or someone with T1D, it just means type 1 diabetes. The blue heart emoji. So if you see a blue heart emoji on Facebook or Instagram, it's a diabetic that's showing support or solidarity for their community or for a diabetes. I tend to use the blue heart a lot. And I think it's blue because the symbol for diabetes is the blue circle. So yeah, I think that's how it came to be. But I use the blue heart emoji quite often. And it's just a nice way to show support for diabetics. So if you see a diabetic talking about a unicorn, it's not that they're talking about the mythical creature, the unicorn. They're actually talking about that magical moment when they get 100 on their blood sugar meter or on their CGM. And to get this number, it's a huge deal because it's a great in-range number and it's something to celebrate. So that's why you'll see a lot of diabetics showing their meters or their CGMs to show their unicorn. So when a diabetic is talking about being high, it's not that they're wasted, like they're saying that they're wasted or something. I mean, they could be, but if they were talking about their diabetes, they would actually be talking about high blood sugar, otherwise known as hypoglycemia. So like if my blood sugar was out of range right now, I'd be like saying, oh man, my blood sugar is so high, or like I'm so high right now, I need to shoot up, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what it means when a diabetic is talking about being high. On the opposite end of the spectrum is saying that you're low, which is referring to low blood sugar, otherwise known as hypoglycemia. Actually, I just had a thought that we don't actually say like when we're high that we're hyper, but when we're low we say we're having a hypo. That's kind of weird. Well, anyway, so if I was low and I really needed juice, so you'll hear me say something like, oh, I'm so low, I need to have like sugar, I need to have, some juice. So yeah, that's basically what it means when you hear a diabetic talking about being low. This is one of my favorite terms to use, diabetes, because I think it's really empowering, and it's literally anyone living with diabetes, they're a diabetes. I actually did find in the Urban Dictionary that it was added, diabetes. So the definition for diabetes is a person with diabetes who is also a hardcore badass. Wow, look at her, she's such a diabetes, she gives 3 shots a day. So yeah, it was added to Urban Dictionary in 2007. So yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I didn't realize it was being used way back then. If you see the Insulin for All hashtag, that's bringing awareness around the insulin affordability crisis, which is happening in the United States and in other countries around the world. And basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to raise awareness around the fact that insulin is way too expensive, and that diabetics are finding it really difficult to pay for life-saving medication. So we use it with our stories and storytelling and comics. I try to do a lot of comics to try and bring awareness around it, but it's a hashtag that's for advocacy around this particular issue. A diaversary is your diabetes birthday. So it's the day that you were diagnosed. So for me, I was diagnosed on the 13th of June. I remember it really well because I had netball the day before and I had a blood test, and then the doctor rang and told my mum that I had diabetes. So It's the day that you get told that you have diabetes that becomes your diabetes birthday, so it's otherwise known as your diaversary. Hypobinge. I don't know if a lot of diabetics use hypobinge, but for me, it's like when it's middle of the night, I wake up like really freaked out because I know my blood sugar is low, and I rush to the kitchen and I go and just obliterate everything in sight. Like I eat like everything because I just want to get my blood sugar up. And so I'm totally not in control of the situation, and I will just eat everything. Anything sweet, I'll just eat it. So that's what a hypo binge is for me. So when you've just gone through the hypo binge, then the next morning is like the hypo hangover. So it's that really horrible, icky feeling, you know, that feeling you get when you wake up and you realize, oh, I've just eaten the whole kitchen. And sometimes you might have like sugar still stuck on you from the night before. So yeah, it's like that real sort of grossed out kind of state, you know, like when you're drunk and you've woken up and you feel really hideous. So it's the blood sugar hangover, the hypo hangover. So I hope you guys already enjoyed this little video about the language of diabetics. If you want to see more, I've done a comic about it, so be sure to check that out. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. See ya.